Hey, everybody. I am here with Ken and Glenn, and we are going to kick off our first of 10 tips for overcoming business setbacks. How are you guys?
What up? Doing good.
Doing good. We're ready.
Well, I hope you're focusing on what you can control, because that's what we're talking about for the next few minutes.
Okay.
Nice.
Any preliminary thoughts about that? Do you feel like there's a great deal in your business that you control, or not so much, more or less than you want?
Focus and control on the controllables. We can't just worry about stuff that we can't control at all, which platforms, inventory, time management, there's so many things that come into play business wise, but we can't worry about that extra stuff. So Anna, give us an example. What's going on here?
I was going to say, so I feel like in a lot of those little areas that you just mentioned, there are things that we can control and things that we can't control, right? So, like, let's take an example. What about, say, a buyer opens a return? What's something you can control about that situation?
Your attitude.
Yes. Attitude is king, right? You can also control how you respond. You can control what your policies
you could
are.
just instantly decline it, right?
You could.
That's control.
That is control.
Here's a random example though. This just happened like 2 days ago, but like a package came back for invalid address. And then the guy sent me a message like, hey, what did he say? My mailbox got, I don't know, destroyed or something.
Like,
He's like, I know. He's like, can you mail it here? I'll be happy to pay the difference or whatever.
Interesting.
And for me, I was like, should I cancel this and have them repurchase? How would I have them to, purchase another one?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It was like ground advantage. It was kind of close by. It was like $7. I'm like,
Okay.
I had pretty good profit margin on this. It was golf cleats. I'm like, I'm just gonna ship it to them. Like,
Yeah.
like you already paid the first one, fine.
Right.
It didn't work out, but I couldn't control that. Maybe whether a mailbox got destroyed or not, I really don't know. But he can't control that. I can't control that. Only thing I can control is I could be mad and be like, you don't know your own address? Why didn't this get delivered?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But for me, I was like, you know what? It was a great sale. Here it is. Let me ship it to whatever you want it to, and let's move on.
I love that. You just chose kind of the high road, but the good customer service road too.
True.
Yeah. It shows that he did control the controllables, especially the attitude side, right? Because we can nitpick, and obviously it's like, oh, why did eBay not have a system around this yet, right?
Yeah.
Like, they've been here forever. Or as a YouTuber, you could make a video out of it and make a clickbait out of it and stuff like that, and made your $7 on views.
Yeah.
Guess what happened to me, guys?
Yeah,
You'll never believe it.
But going back to the focus, right? We've quoted this multiple times with our good friend Lori.
Yep.
Where the focus goes, the energy flows.
Yep. Lori Wong.
So I think that's kind of like really what you did there, Glenn. That you just focus on the good and focus on what else you can do. Because if you would have done the whole transaction over again, I think that would have cost a lot more time. Kind of like headache and just dragged it out more, and you could have just like, here's $7, like my time's worth more than 30 minutes of trying to figure this out.
Totally.
Or what if they just didn't rebuy it?
Right. They're just like, forget it.
Then you lose more money. You lose profit.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great sale, and now I'm gonna make things difficult, and then it'd be like, you know what, maybe I didn't really need these golf shoes. I'll just get them somewhere else, or maybe I just don't want to buy them after all, now that I have to cancel this order and rebuy it and back and forth. And so it's like, let's just make this easy.
That is true. That is true. If you do it that way, you make excuses for the customer not to go ahead and do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, don't give them a reason to change their mind or back out of the situation, even though it's cool that, he reached out and said, hey, I still want these. I'm willing to be reasonable about it. I'll pay to ship them again. Like, that was good on his part too.
Yeah.
But, I think in these kind of situations, it's really helpful to ask yourself, it's a really clarifying question. Can I do anything about this? Can I fix it? Is there any step I can actually take? Because I think we spend a lot of time stressing out or thinking about, you know, situations or problems that maybe we can't do anything about it, or we already did what we can do about it, and now we're waiting for something, you know, to happen. The ball's in someone else's court. So I think that's helpful too, to think, okay, is there something I can do or not? And if there's not, just move on.
Yeah, I think with our main topic being focused on what you can control, immediately what came into my mind was inventory management. I just feel like you can control your own inventory. Like, I know people want to complain about, like, well, I can't get sales because algorithm on eBay isn't helping me. People aren't seeing it. I'm not getting the views. I'm not getting the watchers. But if you have great inventory, or you're also listing every day or some sort of consistent schedule, you can control that. You know, you can't control any outside factors if or anything is going on eBay wise or whatever else you want to blame it on. But inventory wise, you can definitely control that by getting things listed and managing it if you don't have it in stock or something. Like, that's another thing that you should definitely have control over, on how many I guess pieces you have of a certain item, or something sells, or things like that. So that's what I would definitely say for that.
Yeah. If you're clear on what you can control, then it's a lot more clear, you know, where the problem is too. Like you're saying, if you already have mastered control over all of these things that are in your control, then when there's a problem, you can be more clear about whether that's coming from an external source or not, instead of just like, well, all of my processes are kind of a mess, but I'm just going to choose to blame something else. Like, how do you know it's that? Maybe you could have done something better, or you can do something better in the future that's in your control, which is actually powerful, right? That's a double-edged sword. It's up to you.
Exactly.
So there you go, guys. We will see you again tomorrow for